Hi guys, how are you? Okay, welcome to another epic. Guys, I'm so tired. Do you know how many take? Hey, sometimes I just want to sit down like this and be talking to you guys instead of be doing all those action thing. Anyway, guys, let's come back. Come on now, you all know that I know how to switch. All right. Welcome to another epic day of singles, married, and vibing. Okay. I'm your host and I'll forever be your host. Guys, my name is Patricia. In case you're new on my page, you do not know what I do here. I am here to build a better generation of women for Christ, okay? You can still be in Christ and slay, all right? All right, guys, let's go straight to what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to be answering this. But before I do that, let me use my gloss and gloss myself so that my mouth will be shiny, okay? All right, not only that, the thing is that I want to answer this question right up here, okay? But I'm going to read this email. Do I read the email as to just answer the question quickly so that you guys will know and you can share your opinion? Ooh, let me read the email. Let me just sum the email. Let me read the email up and then we'll just... Anyway, there's a saying that says that some men are lost in the fire, some are built from the fire. So whether you're built or you're lost, sit back, relax. It's a no judge zone, okay? I am your host, all right? The host with the most. You can see what the way I acted. And then I came back. I switched back, okay? All right, guys. So he says, hi, House of Magdalene. I met this girl 6 years ago. However, I met this girl through my mother. She was a sales rep for my mother in my mother's store. My mother insisted I marry her, that she's a born-again Christian and that she's a good girl. However, before that time, I had a girl that I was dating for 2 years. I had to let that girl go to marry this girl. Fast forward, 3 years down the line, we waited before we had our son. Our son didn't come early. Since that time, yeah, it's been good. It's been lovely. But all of a sudden, from nowhere, my wife switched at church. She started going to a particular church, and all of a sudden, she said that all her predicament was coming from my mother. She started giving my mother attitude in the house. Whenever my mother insists that my son come for weekend, my wife says no. Out of nowhere, my wife and I had this big rift last week. All of a sudden, my wife started calling my mother all sorts of names and saying that my mother's scent is not clean and that my mother is the reason behind her predicament. What will I do? What should I do? How do I handle this situation? House of Magdalene. Guys, I could read this email from the beginning to the end, but I'm kind of tired. I've done a lot of take before doing this, okay? I'm not going to let you. I've done like 7 to 8 takes before doing this. And I hope this works. That's why whatever you guys see on this video, please just take it. I hope this video works. I hope this video stays, okay? All right, but if it doesn't, I have to start all over again. All right. My candid advice, which says help. The same woman my mother gave to me as a wife is now the one calling my mother a witch. That would be the topic. I'm going to say this, which is I'm going to blame women. Stop being the person that will give your son wife. That's what's happening right now. Stop. Sorry for that glitch, guys. I needed to try something else. Stop being the person that will be the giving your wife, your son, a wife. Because in doing that, look at what happened to you. The same girl you brought home. This is me talking to mother-in-law now. The same girl you brought home is the one that is now putting her hand inside your eyes. Let me tell you, I can understand some mother-in-law's hands are not clean. I can understand that some mother-in-law, they can also bring you and also be the one, you know, being mean to you. But that's not the case here. This is a woman that insisted that the son marries you because you're a good girl. Which is why I tell men, just because a girl is calling Jesus, Jesus, does not mean she knows God. Does not mean she's a child of God. There are a lot of women that call Jesus but don't know Jesus. They don't even know Jesus' address. And that's the truth. But you all just say, oh, that girl, she knows God. And then you think that that one that is, hey, we got to party is the bad one. No. No. Oftentimes, it's even that one that is doing, hey, 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 that is always the good one. I'm telling you the truth. They don't have anything beyond that. That's a hey that they're doing. But now look at the one that you felt was good enough. It's the one that is not treating your mom a certain way. You see? Which is what I tell men. Just think. You left your 2 years relationship for her. Now you married her 3 years just because she waited. Anything could have cost her waiting. Anything medically could have cost it. It doesn't matter. whatever. Or maybe it was just the time that God said he was gonna, and when God was gonna bless her, he gave her his son. So why did she now do that? Why is she now saying that is your mother, the same woman? Of course, I had a conversation with you, and you said, to the extent that your mom is still backing her up, fighting for her, and saying that don't worry, oh, she's just acting a certain way. No, if I were you, go to that church. That church that she's going, that pastor that is telling her that thing, go and find out who the pastor is. Go and know who that pastor is. I'm not saying that some mother-in-law too cannot be you, because some mother-in-law, they are, you know, in the coven. You understand? Let me put it that way. But then in this case, from what you explained to me, your mom is not that kind of a person. Your mom is the one that said, no, this girl is a very good girl. Your mom is the one that chose her for you because your mom saw Christianity in her. But you see, it's not all about Christianity. I hope you now find out. You now know that it's not all about Christianity. I'm only going to tell you this, and I hope this works for you, and I pray it works for you. Go to the man of God that is telling her about your mother. Go and meet that man of God. Report her to that man of God. Be it her father, report her to her father. Report her to her mom. Get to know the source of where this is coming from concerning your mom. Because if you do not talk to these people, you will not know where the source is coming from. She couldn't have woken up one day to make up a story and start saying your mom is not good. Or maybe she was pretending on along, and this was the best time for her to start showing herself. But having said that, you know, I can only tell you this. Just report that to your pastor. Talk to somebody. Talk to an elderly person that will, you know, talk to her and will talk sense into her to let her know that this woman won't bring you in and still not be the one. Although, you know, spiritual things can be very deep. Let's put it that way. But then in this case, no. In this case, I asked you a certain question and you told me. And I know. So it just has to do with her switching church and just getting carried away by the church that she goes to right now. And so you need to call her back and remind her that your mother is still her mother. And that your mother is still the grandmother of your son. And that you are still her husband, before she comes home and casts you as part of the coven people. And you don't want to be casted as part of the coven people. Guys, I believe I've said enough. I do not want to take much of your time right now. Guys, until next time, I remain your girl, Patricia. God bless you guys so much. Bye. Thanks for watching.